Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I am your technical critic, and while perusing my movie list the other day, I happened to come across an actress with a knife to her throat. And I said, well, what's this? And it turned out to be a TV movie called Killing Daddy. Now, why would I be talking about a TV movie? Well, I'm not in any way a follower of entertainers. You'll notice in my subscriber list it is curiously blank, despite the fact that I've been trying to get 24 of you to subscribe to me. Mine is curiously blank. Why, you may ask? Well, I'm saving it for that one special YouTuber. Who is it? I don't know yet, but I will know when I find them, and then I will give myself to them. Insert joke here. So, whenever movies come out that star a particular actor, I wouldn't say I'm a follower. Like, I won't go see a movie just because it's a Tom Cruise movie. And I don't follow directors that much, with the exception of a very few. For example, if Terry Gilliam has a new movie coming out, you have to go and watch it. Why? He got me young with Baron Munchausen, and I've been hooked ever since. And he's actually good at what he does. And I will follow people who are extremely good at what they do. Dodger Lee, Queen of the Internet. John Panette, rest in peace. Greg Giraldo, rest in peace. Jeremy Brett, rest in peace. See where I'm going with this? However, in the case of Elizabeth Gillies, I make an exception. And that's why I watched this movie, because it starred Elizabeth Gillies. Now, why follow Elizabeth Gillies? Well, how should I describe her? She is a marble statue of perfection, with the hair of raven black and venomous lips that a man might die for. And on top of all that, she is a fantastic actress. She can sing, she can dance extremely well, and at one point she responded to a post I made on Facebook about smoking after it rains, which, as a side note, if nature takes time out of its busy day to minutely scrub all the dirt out of the air that you're breathing, who the hell are you to go and decide, oh, the air is so clean, hang on, I need to suck in some ash. Go away. You know what? You are everything that's wrong with human culture. The rest of us are trying to... I know that you have no sense of smell because it's been completely burned away by just your idiot behavior, but at least let the rest of us enjoy the clean air, okay? Sure, it'll get polluted again in 10 minutes. You can wait 10 minutes, right? Before you light up that stick. But that's a side note. Anyways, so I've been following her career ever since I saw her on Victorious. She's a fantastic actress. And this movie is... she does very well. I have to say it. She does extremely well in this movie. The problem is, with Killing Daddy, it is a storyline that we've seen 1,000 times before. There's a rich man, there's either a kid or a wife who wants to get their hands on their money, either because they're greedy or because they've been wronged in some way, shape, or form. They enlist someone to kill them, and then this is your standard story. There is nothing that happens here that you cannot predict. And Elizabeth does very well, but this is simply an extension of her character from Victorious. If you had taken her character from Victorious, Jade West, and just extended it to its logical conclusion, this is where we would end up. So, in this movie, she's moved to Philadelphia. She's changed her name to Charlotte. Not Chamois. It's some weird C name that they keep shortening. And basically, she's run away from home. And then when she finds out her dad has had a stroke, she goes back home. And essentially what happens is she then proceeds to have him murdered, have the will that gives her the most amount of money read out, and then things happen to go awry and she ends up in an insane asylum. Typical. It's a fairly typical story. She does fantastic in it. I mean, this is the character that she has always played. The problem is, and really it's a danger, going from something like TV to TV movies and hopefully to other movies. She's in Elizabeth Gillies, and I say this in all sincerity, she is in severe danger of being typecast. The problem with having a TV show where you play a character, with your body of work, it's not like, okay, you played one character here, one character here, one character here, one character there, like in the movies, and you have a very wide range. No, no. When you're playing a TV show, you settle into one particular character role. And when people look at your resume, they basically go, oh, you've been doing this for so many years, you're typecast. Typecast is almost as bad as being blackballed, because at least when you're blackballed, some indie, up-and-coming, hasn't been seen yet director might snap you up and say, you know what, sure, other people won't work with you, but I'll work with you. And if they make something good, and if you're a good actor, you take off. And you can get off that list. Mel Gibson, if he was to cut the crazy out, despite the fact that he's been completely blackballed, if he was to cut out the crazy and start from the bottom again, in 3 years, I give it 3 years, people could forgive him everything that he ever did. If he was to just concentrate on making really, really good movies, he would get off that list. Being typecast, even worse, because guess what? It doesn't matter who you go to. As soon as people see you and they recognize you as a certain character, they go, oh, you're that character. And they associate your character with you, not you as the person playing that character. And they say, well, that's that kind of actor. We don't want that kind of actor. We're going to go with another person. So you see what can happen? You end up getting typecast. And then, if, God forbid, they don't need your type, or if there's too many of your type, you're worse than blackballed, because you can't get work anywhere. And on top of that, people have a certain image of you then. You're basically done in. And I know that Elizabeth Gillies is a very good actress, and I would love to see her play a much wider variety of roles. Hopefully this is the stepping stone. This is one of the roles she's going to inhabit, because I don't want to see her end up as a side character here, there, everywhere. You see a side character in great movies that just plays this one particular role, like, oh, let's look at the ancient Charles Dickens movies from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, the ones that were shot in and some in the 30s, the ones that were shot in black and white. There are a ton of recognizable actors who play side characters in those movies. The problem with that is, when you see them in other movies, they're still playing side characters, and they're essentially playing the exact same character. So while they might be a part of great things, they're the person off to the side. And I don't want Elizabeth Gillies to be the person off to the side. She needs to be center stage. Quite honestly, when they announced that Lindsay Lohan would be playing Elizabeth Taylor in that movie about basically her life, I immediately said, why is Elizabeth Gillies not playing this role? She would literally be, she looks like Liz Taylor and she's a good actress, so I'm pretty sure she could do it. Why is that not a thing that's happening? Overall, the movie's good. I encourage you to watch it. Give her some publicity. Watch the movie. Download it from Netflix. Do whatever you have to do, but watch it. Give her some publicity. Tweet at her. Tell her she did really, really well, and I hope to see her in a whole lot more in a much wider range. This has been my technical critique, and I will see you next time.